shitty stuff outside and slippery and dirty and everything else. And like, you signed up for this class, you got all your stuff together, and you got yourself here for 7:30 on time tonight. Like the hardest part is done. So congratulations. Welcome. My name's Amanda. For those of you who don't know me, I've been teaching this Sunday night class for a while. And this is an all levels class. So this is for everybody, whether this is your first time coming to a yoga class or whether yoga is something you do all the time. This is a place where you're welcome. So I'm really, really glad that you're here. Let's see, what did I want to make sure to tell you besides the fact that I'm excited to see you? If this is your first time coming to class, awesome, good for you. And if you're coming back for the second or third or 10th time, welcome back. That's really awesome too. I really think that this getting together on Sunday nights to practice yoga and get ourselves ready for the week is a really special thing, even in normal times, but to be able to do it together in person right now is really, really cool. So this is like a low pressure kind of class. I want you to do the best that you can. If you're ever running late for class, like I don't want you to rush to get here. I want you to we're doing yoga. So I want you to take your time, not worry about it. And as we go through our practice tonight, listen to your body. So if we're doing something that feels really, really good to you, keep doing that thing. Even if I'm like, let's move on to the next thing. And if we're doing something that really doesn't feel very good in your body, you're welcome to stop doing it. The yoga practice is an individual practice of us figuring out how to best connect to ourselves. And that looks different from day to day and from person to person. So I hope that you can embrace that in this class. I was super psyched because I was putting this class together tonight. Like last week we did this, focusing on present moment awareness. And this week I was really thinking about all the things that we're trying to do to stay really, really healthy, right? Like we're all doing the things that we're supposed to, but now we're trying to be extra, and we're getting extra testing done, and we're wearing extra masks, and we're doing all these extra things. So I was like, okay, what can we be doing in yoga that's even more than what we're doing now? And so I thought that tonight we would dedicate our focus to doing twists in the body. Now in yoga, we've got 5 movements of the spine. You can move forward and back and side to side, and up and down, and then we can twist. And twists are pretty cool because there's not a lot of opportunity in our regular daily life to twist very much. Maybe if you're you don't have a backup camera on your car, maybe you turn around and look to back up, or maybe look at your friend behind you. But it's really rare that we're twisting, right? We're usually moving in a straight direction or we're pivoting. The benefit of twists in the body are numerous. Certainly, they're really relaxing. It gets, gets the movement going in the spine and in the rib cage. But what's really cool about twists is it gives us this sort of internal massage sort of thing going on. So if you think about it, we've got our skin, our muscles, our bones, and then we've got all of our organs and all this fluid inside of us, right? And our organs don't get much of an opportunity to get a massage or to really move around very much, right? We can massage our hands and our feet or, get our back done, whatever, but what about the organs? And why would we even want to massage them? So interestingly, when we twist, we create what they call what do they call it? It creates compression in the torso. And so when you're twisting, you're actually squishing your organs together because it's all liquid in there, right? So when you twist, you're having the organs move, they're pressing into one another. There might actually be a little bit of a twisting action going on in the organs. And when that happens, there's a little brief moment where the blood is cut off. And then when you untwist, this fresh, nourishing, nutrient-rich blood comes surging back into the organs and creates kind of a flushing sensation. So that's one of the benefits of twisting, is this idea of creating compression and movement in the organs. And then finally, for any of you or any of us who might have different kinds of digestive challenges, having a regular twisting routine can really assist with all kinds of movement inside the body. So be kind to yourself as we go through the practice tonight. Find a seat sitting up nice and tall, whatever that looks like for you right now. And I just want to make sure that we go over what the anatomy of a twist looks like, because one thing I want to be really clear about is that yoga is not acrobatics, it's not contortion, it's a really intentional practice where we're trying to really do something with intention. So that means that when we're twisting tonight, because we're going to do a lot of it, You don't have to do the deepest twist you could ever possibly do. In fact, it might benefit your body to like do some shallow twists and then do some deep twists. So play around with that. But when you're twisting tonight, a couple of things to follow. One, think about keeping the hips rooted on the floor. It's sort of like if you're going to screw something into a wall, you want to make sure that there's some sort of an anchor there, otherwise you keep twisting, right? So that's what your hips are doing, they're anchoring you to the floor. When we twist, we want to have a nice long spine, so we're rooted in the hips, we're sitting up tall in the spine. And then when we twist, we keep that length, keep the rooting, and you twist from the very lowest part of the body. So from the tailbone, the belly, the chest, the shoulders, and then the head is the very last thing to turn. So don't worry, we'll have plenty of practice. Just do the best that you can, be kind to yourself, and make sure you can breathe. Because one of the things that happens when we twist is we get some great compression going on, but if you can't fill your lungs completely, that's telling you that you're going a little bit too deep into the twist. All right, awesome. I'm super glad that you're here. Do the best that you can. Find a comfortable seat. Usually in yoga, we sit with the legs crossed, but if that doesn't feel comfortable for you tonight, find something else. But make sure your weight is evenly distributed between both of your hips. And so for me, what I like to do is actually I take my hand just behind my glutes and I pull the fleshy part away from my sits bones to broaden through the hips. Hands are on your knees or thighs, and you use that to help you get some integrity sitting up a little bit taller, so it provides a bit of support. Nice. Make sure your ears are in alignment with the shoulders, so your chin might be tucked in just a little bit to do that. Close your eyes or bring them to a soft gaze as you arrive in this seat on this mat in class tonight. And I just gave you a whole bunch of instruction on how to get into this seat. See if you can find yourself in this seat as well. So still sitting up nice and tall, ready for a yoga class, but then a little bit of authenticity of what it feels like to be. Begin to connect with your breath. And that might mean just noticing it for the first time today. Be kind to yourself with the breathing in this practice tonight. Breath work is infused into the yoga practice. You've got this mask on. And for some of us, that makes it a little bit challenging. So if you find tonight that you need to take a break, or maybe your breath doesn't match up with mine, don't worry about it. Just make sure that you can breathe. You're being kind to yourself. With each inhale, keep sitting up nice and tall in your seat. With each exhale, root down through the hips, relax the shoulders. And as the body comes to stillness, see if you can quiet your mind, letting go of anything outside of this time together tonight. Still sitting up nice and tall. Bring your palms together in prayer position in front of your heart. Make sure that the shoulders are gently rolled on the back so you're really broad through the chest. You're sitting up nice and tall and alert. And we'll begin our practice tonight by chanting the sound of Om. We're going to chant it just one time, and you can do it as loudly or as softly as you'd like. Take a full exhale, and then a full inhale for Om. Release the hands and gently let your eyes flutter open. Place your hands on your knees or thighs and sit up nice and tall. Gently turn the head towards the right side, looking over the right shoulder. As you exhale, make your way through center and take a look over the left shoulder. One more round. Exhale, make your way through center. Keep the shoulders square to the front of the mat as you look over towards the right side. And last time, exhale your way through center, over to the left. Maybe you can look a little further than you did last time. And then bring the head back to center. Extend your legs out in front of you. And we'll place the right foot on the inside of the left thigh. Flex the left foot. Make sure that the weight is even between both your hips. So if you're kind of like lopsided on one side or the other, try to be even and sit up nice and tall. Remember, we're twisting, so we want to have a nice firm base. Put your hands on the floor on either side of the thigh and gently turn your torso to align it with the leg. So this is a subtle twist. As you exhale, start to walk the hands forward. Keep the chest lined up with the leg and bring your hands wherever is comfortable. So if you can grab the foot, that's cool. I like to have my hands on the floor on either side of the ankle. Keep both of your hips rooted here. This posture is called Janu Shirshasana, which means extended head to knee pose. On your next inhale, start to walk your hands in as the torso rises up. Nice. Sit up nice and tall, and as you inhale, sweep the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Nice. Let the shoulders relax. And then as you exhale, we'll twist to the right. Bring your right fingertips to the floor behind you, left hand to the bent knee. Remember this nice long spine. Your shoulders are rooted. You're sitting up nice and tall as you twist towards the right side. And we're still warming up the spine here, so it doesn't have to be the deepest twist you've ever done. And then keep your left hand on the bent knee. As you inhale, sweep your right arm up overhead like you're reaching for that extended left foot. And maybe you can reach the foot, or maybe that foot is so far away you can't even imagine. But wherever you're at, make sure that your hips are rooted into the floor. And we're really trying to get a stretch through the right side of the body, through your right hip. Nice. Inhale and come on back to center. And then we'll switch sides. So extend the right leg out, place the sole of the left foot on the inner thigh. Get yourself situated here. So weight is even in the hips, foot is flexed, and then we'll turn the torso towards the extended leg. And as you exhale, hinge forward, leading with the chest, keeping it in alignment with the leg here. Nice. And if you're able to grab the foot or the ankle, go for it. But wherever you are, keep the shoulders down away from the ears. We spend enough time hunching our shoulders up, so think about having a nice broad chest and shoulders here. Walk the hands back in as the torso lifts up. Inhale and sweep your fingertips up overhead. Nice. Let the shoulders relax. Exhale, we'll twist towards the left. So bring your right hand to the bent knee. Left fingertips come to the floor behind you. And that back hand is like a kickstand on your bike. So it's just for like a little bit of extra balance. Really the weight is in your hips. All right, right hand stays on the bent knee. Inhale, sweep the left arm overhead. Reach for that extended foot. Maybe it's closer this time, maybe it's further away. But remember, this is a yoga practice. So the intention is staying rooted in the hips, opening to the left side of the body. And remember, we're twisting here, so we're spiraling the chest open towards the ceiling. Nice. Inhale and come on back to center. Great job. Come onto your hands and knees in a tabletop position on all fours. If you have tender knees, feel free to double up your mat if you need to. We've got the shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, and then just walk your hands forward just an inch or so you have a wider than 90-degree angle in the wrists. On an inhale, we'll drop the belly and the chest and look up towards the ceiling for cow pose. And then as you exhale, round the spine, pull the belly button in towards the back, tuck the chin. Inhale, drop the belly and chest. Create like a wave motion with the spine here for cow pose. Exhale, tucking the tailbone, rounding the shoulders for cat pose. One more round. Inhale, dropping the belly and chest. And exhale, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone. And then come back to a neutral spine, flat back. Nice. Keep your left hand planted on the floor. As you inhale, sweep your right fingertips up, spiral the chest towards the side wall. And then exhale, we're gonna sweep the right hand in front of the left. Inhale, sweep it back up towards the ceiling. We'll do this a couple more times, opening up the shoulder blades. Exhale, sweep the arm in front of the left. Inhale, sweep it up towards the ceiling. One more time. Exhale, bring the arm forward. Inhale and bring it up. See if maybe you have a little bit more range of motion here. Can you bring the right shoulder back a little bit more? Nice. Exhale and lower the right hand back down to the mat. And we'll do the other side. So right hand stays rooted. Inhale, sweep the left arm up, spiral the chest. Exhale, sweep the arm in front of the right hand. Inhale and reach up. Big breath. Exhale and sweep. Inhale and reach. Can you open up a little further here? Last time. Exhale, sweep the hand in front. Inhale to reach it up high. Exhale, lower the left hand back down to the mat. Walk your hands forward a couple of inches. Walk your knees back a couple of inches. We're going to tuck the toes, move the hips up and back to downward facing dog. So in downward dog, if you're new to yoga, it's when your body's in the shape of kind of like a triangle. Your hands are shoulder width apart or wider. Feet are hips distance apart. If you're wearing socks and you find that your toes are slipping, you may want to take your socks off. And to find out if your hands and feet are in the right place, we're going to exhale and glide forward to plank, which is the top of a push-up. Nice. So you might find to get into plank, you need to scoot your toes back a little bit. That means that your down dog was a little bit short for this class. Keep your hands and feet where they are. Move the hips up and back to downward dog once again. Nice. Really great job. Now pedal the feet out. So alternate bending each knee, moving each heel a little closer to the floor. Nice. All right. Come to stillness with the legs. Walk your hands back towards your feet so that you're at a forward fold at the back of your mat. Feet are hips distance apart. You're hinged forward at the hips. Your legs are as straight as they can be. Bend your knees. Get your hips underneath you. Inhale, reach your arms wide. Straighten the legs. Reach your arms up overhead. Connect the palms. Exhale and hands come to your heart. Nice. Find mountain pose at the back of your mat here. So feet are hips distance apart, little soft bend in the knees. Bring your hands to your hips. Engage your abdominal muscles here. So I'm going to give you a little side view. Stick the tailbone out and pull your lower abdominals in. Then create a neutral spine. Tuck the ribs in. Keep all of that. And straighten the legs. And I can see some of you peeking in the side mirror. That's always a good move to do if you're like, where is my body in space? That can be really helpful. Arms are down by your sides. Nice strong belly. Inhale, float the fingertips up. Shoulders stay relaxed. Keep your hips pointing straight ahead towards me, and then turn just your upper body towards the mirror. And so that might mean pulling that left hip back a little bit, so you keep your hips pointing towards me. All right, come on back to center. And then we'll do the other side. So just the upper body turns. Try to keep the hips pointing straight ahead. Nice. Inhale and come on back to center. A little bit of a back bend. Open the arms, open the chest up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold all the way down to a forward fold. Walk your hands forward to a downward facing dog. And if you like that plank to down dog move to figure out where your hands and feet need to be, you're welcome to do that. Bend the knees and see if you can lengthen the spine by moving your hips like you're pointing them towards the corner where the ceiling and the wall meet behind you. Nice long spine, and then keep that and straighten the legs. Walk your feet up towards your hands, coming to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Right hand comes to the outside of the left shin. Right knee bends a little bit. Left leg stays straight, and you're going to reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. So this is a forward fold twist. One leg is a little bent, one leg is straight. All right, exhale to release the left hand. We'll switch sides. So bend the left knee, place the left hand on the outside of the right leg, straighten the right leg, and reach your right arm up as we move the chest towards the other side of the room. Nice. Make sure you can breathe. Exhale and release to fold all the way forward. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach your arms wide. Come all the way up. Exhale and hands come to your heart. Cool. Find yourself in mountain pose at the top of your mat if you're not there already. So that means standing up really tall and present and strong. Nice. Good, guys. Inhale and sweep the arms up. Take a look up towards the sky. Exhale, swan dive forward, hinge at the hips and bring your hands down towards the floor. We're going to step the right foot back to a lunge, keeping your hands connected to the mat. So maybe your fingertips, maybe your palms. Front knee is over the front ankle. Make sure that you have a nice wide stance so you're not standing on a tightrope here. And press through the back of the right heel to really get into that right hip. Nice. Keep your right hand on the floor. Reach your left fingertips up for a twist. And do what you can to stay really strong in the legs so that there's very little weight on that right hand. Exhale to lower the left hand down. And then work your way back to plank, top of a push-up. You can come to your knees first or sweep the leg back, whatever feels comfortable for you. And remember, you can always drop your knees if you need to, but otherwise, take advantage of this strengthening, activating pose. And as you exhale, gently lower yourself down to the floor. You can drop your knees first or lower down in one straight line. We'll come all the way down to the belly. Elbows are tucked in. Nice job. Toes are pointed, so try to have the tops of the feet on the floor. As you exhale, gently peel the chest up off the mat, and then turn to take a look over your right shoulder. And be gentle here, because if this is like pinchy in the low back, then lower down a little bit. Exhale to release back down to the center. Tuck your toes, make your way back to downward facing dog. You can go through tabletop, you can go through plank, totally up to you. Begin to pour your weight into your left hand here, freeing the weight on the right hand. And if you can, reach underneath the body with your right hand, maybe grabbing a hold of your hip, your thigh, maybe an ankle for a twist. We're looking underneath the left arm. And if you're trying to do a one-arm down dog right now and you're like, you know, I think a regular down dog is enough for me, that's perfect. You do what works best for you. If your right hand is connected to the leg, put the right hand back down on the mat. We'll switch sides, pour the weight in. Oh no, we're not switching sides. I won't do that to you. All right, inhale, reach your right leg up for three-legged dog. Nice work. Take a look at the hand, step your right foot forward to a lunge. You might have to take a couple steps to get there. That's totally fine. Nice, all right. Kick off the back foot, come forward to a forward fold. Bend your knees, inhale, reach your arms wide, come all the way up. Woo. Connect the palms, exhale, hands come to heart center. Nice job. So that was the first half of a kind of twisty sun salutation. Hooray for two sides. Here we go. Inhale and reach up. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold all the way down. This time, left foot steps back to a lunge. And remember, this practice is all about you. So make any adjustments that you need to make this lunge feel halfway decent for yourself. Back leg is straight, hips are buoyant. Left hand stays connected to the floor. Inhale, sweep the right arm up for a twist. Great focus, everybody. Exhale, lower the right hand back down to the mat. Make your way back to plank, top of the push-up. In Sanskrit, they call this Uttita Chaturanga. Make sure your belly is tucked in, nice and strong, like we do in all of our postures. And then you can either lower the knees or lower down in one straight line, like a reverse push-up. It's up to you. Come on down to the belly, legs are straight, toes are pointed, hands under the shoulders. Exhale to peel the chest up off the floor. This time, take a look over the left shoulder so we can look for that left hip. Exhale to come back to center and lower the chest back down. Tuck your toes, make your way back to downward facing dog. All right. So here, bring your awareness to your right hand. Start to pour the weight into the right hand as the left hand frees itself. Maybe you can grab a hold of your hip, shin, or an ankle. Take a look underneath your right arm. Maybe you can see yourself in the mirror. And remember, yogi's choice. So if you're like, yeah, no, I think I don't need a one arm down dog tonight, that's totally cool. But this is a way to get a twist into your down dog. Plant the left hand on the mat if it's not there already. Strong and steady, lift the left leg up, three-legged dog. Flex the left foot, keep the hips level. Take a look at the hand, step your left foot forward to a lunge. Nice job. Kick off the back foot, come forward to a forward fold. Bend your knees, inhale, reach your arms wide. Come all the way up, connect the palms. Exhale and hands come to your heart. Nice work. Go to the middle of your mat. And find mountain pose once again. Feet are hips distance apart and parallel. And so that means that it's like hip bones, knees, ankles, second toes, all in alignment. Stand up nice and tall. Begin to pour your weight into your left foot. So really press into the floor, make this leg nice and solid. Right leg becomes light as you place your right foot on the inside of the left leg for tree pose. And you've got three options. Option one is the ankle. Option two is the inner calf. Option three is above the knee on the inner groin. So if the foot wants to go to the knee, please avoid the knee joint. And feel free to adjust if you need to. Bring your palms together in prayer when you found your tree tonight. But know that you can always change the positioning of the foot. Press the leg into the foot into the leg to stand up a little taller. And then grow your branches up overhead. Make sure you're looking at something that's not moving, so do not look at me. All right, we're in a twisting class, y'all, so keep your hips square to the front of the mat as you just heard, woo, the torso gently towards the bent knee. Again, keep pulling that left hip back. If you fall out of the posture, good job for trying. You're welcome to come back into it. Woo! So I said, don't look at me. Gently come back to center. Nice work. Connect the palms to bring your hands to your heart. Bring the knee forward. Lower the foot. Shake it out a little bit. So, truth. Those one-legged balance postures are not meant to be twisted like that. That's like totally, completely awkward. So if as you were doing that, you're like, this feels totally awkward. Yes, you were doing it right. So now you're prepared for what the other side is going to be like. So don't worry about it if you fall out of it. Just do the best that you can and be kind to yourself that you're trying this thing out tonight. Stand up nice and tall. All right, bring your awareness to your right foot, really pressing it into the floor. Start to shift your weight and free your left foot, placing it wherever makes sense on this side. And maybe you're like, oh yeah, man, this is the side, I'm gonna rock this. Or maybe this side is feeling a little less stable for you. Press the foot into the leg into the foot, get some energy there, and bring your palms together in prayer. Nice. Let your branches grow up overhead. The shoulders relaxed. See if you can keep your hips square to the front of the mat as you turn just the torso towards the bent knee. Nice. Notice all that work that your right ankle is doing. Kind of amazing. Gently make your way back to center. Nice. Connect the palms. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Knee comes forward. Shake it out a little bit. Nice. Really great work, everybody. All right, come to a wide-legged stance so that your feet are on the outside edges of your mat. Turn your heels in so that your toes are pointed out at a 45-degree angle. Hands come to the hips. Bend into the knees. So coming on into a goddess squat, trying to align the knees and the ankles, keeping the knees pointing towards your toes. Yeah, no, looking really good. Nice. Bring your arms up to 90 degrees. Cactus arms. This is Devi Asana or goddess. Keep the shoulders on the back. Make sure your hips are right underneath you so that you're in alignment with the ears, shoulders, and hips. Excellent. Strong and steady. Keep your hips pointing towards the front of the room, and we'll twist the upper body towards the right. Nice. Look at all those badasses. That's awesome. All right, make your way back through center. And then over towards the other side. Keep pulling that left shoulder back. Stay strong in your inner thighs. And come on back to center. Make sure that you're breathing. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can widen your stance and sink the hips. If you're like, you don't know, why am I going to do that? When is this ending? I don't blame you. I'm wondering the same thing. All right, place your hands on your thighs. We're going to bring the left shoulder forward. Nice. Come on back to center. Other side. Bring the right shoulder forward. And come on back to center. How you doing? Nice job, you guys. Really good work. Maybe you're feeling a little warm. Maybe your inner thighs are like, what are you doing to me? All right, straighten the legs, straighten the arms. 5-pointed star. If you tend to lock your knees out, bring a little soft bend to the knees here. Nice. Hands come to the hips. Pivot your feet so they're parallel to the edges of the mat. Exhale, hinge forward to a flat back. So you're looking down at the floor. And then bring your right palm or fingertips to the floor. Inhale to sweep the left arm up for a twist. And exhale to lower the left hand. We'll switch sides. Sweep the right arm up. And exhale to release. Let yourself fold as far forward as feels comfortable for you here. Let the head hang. And if it feels good, you can gently shake and nod your head to get some opening through the back of the neck. Bring your hands to your hips, press into your feet, and come on up. Nice. Heel toe your feet, so you're back on the mat, and then come on up to the top of your mat. Find mountain pose once again. Inhale to sweep the fingertips up. Exhale, sit back, Utkatasana, or fierce pose. Some teachers call this chair pose. But I feel like fierce pose just has such a better energy to it than just like chair pose. Some people actually call this awkward pose as well. But I feel like when you say awkward, it just immediately gets awkward. So fierce it is. Nice and strong. Great job, you guys. Bring your palms together in prayer in front of your heart. Take this right elbow, we're going to bring it towards the left leg. If you can get it on the outside of the leg, cool. Otherwise, maybe it's on top of the thigh. That's cool too. Palms are pressing together. So here is a chair twist for you. You can stay here, or for an added challenge, take a look down at the feet, pour your weight into your left foot, and step your right foot back for a lunge. And you might need to take a couple steps or free your hands, or maybe you're like, wow, this is hard enough as it is. So yogi's choice, you play along however works best for you tonight. If you're in the lunge, take a look at the front foot and step the back foot forward, and then everyone come on through center over to the other side. Yep, we are talking to our quads today. Left arm on the outside of the right leg. And then you can either stay here or take a look down at the feet. Pour the weight into the right foot as you step the left foot back for a lunge. Make sure you're breathing okay. If you're in the lunge, take a look at the front foot. Step the back foot forward. Everyone come to center. We're still in the squat. Extend your arms out. Lift your heels. So that means you're on your toes now. And then start to straighten the legs. So we're staying on the toes, keep hugging in at the shins, reach the fingertips line, and wrist good crack. Exhale and release. Shake it out a little bit. Nice job, everybody. Do what you need to find yourself here. Find mountain pose at the top of your mat. Inhale, pull the arms up. Exhale, into the hips and fold all the way down. Walk your way back to downward facing dog. On an inhale, sweep your right leg up for three-legged dog. And the three-legged dog, The lifted foot is flexed, the hips are level. It's just like down dog with one foot lifted up. From here, we're going to move into pigeon pose. And so that means that you're going to move your right knee towards your right wrist and plant the front shin on the mat. Back leg is straight, back toes are pointed. Now, you decide, I don't know if you all can see me, your foot can either be in more towards your groin, or depending on how open you are, maybe your shin is more towards parallel at the front of the mat. You decide what feels good for you tonight and stay strong. Begin by sitting up nice and tall. Nice. Make sure your front foot is flexed. And then from here, start to walk the hands forward. Let the torso rest on that front leg. Try to keep your hips level and make any adjustments that you need to make this feel accessible for you. If you can connect your forehead to the mat, do that. If it doesn't quite reach, it might feel nice to stack your fists or your palms and create that connection with the forehead. Use your breath. This is often pretty intense in the bent hip. On your next inhale, begin to walk your hands in as the torso rises up, nice and strong. And you can either stay here or you can try bending the back knee and with the left hand reach behind for the ankle. Now, depending on your hips or how your knees feel will depend on how this feels to you. For me, I don't like this posture at all, but I like offering it up to folks because other people find this feels really good in their body. So you do what works best for you. Exhale and release that back down. Plant your hands on the floor. Tuck the back toes. We're working our way back to downward facing dog. Do the best that you can. And when you're ready, on an inhale, we'll lift the left leg up, three-legged dog for the other side. And then from here, we'll bring the left knee towards the left wrist as you plant the shin on the floor. And you decide how parallel you want that front shin to the front of the mat. Back toes are pointed, front foot is flexed. Begin by having a nice tall chest. Nice. Check out the hips, make sure that they're feeling level for you. And then from here, start to walk the hands forward, let the torso relax on the thigh. And then you can either connect your forehead to the mat or to your hands, depending on what feels good for you. Really focus your breath into your hips if you're feeling it here. All right, plant the hands, walk them in as your torso rises up. Get as steady as you can here, and then if it feels good to you, bend the back knee, right hand reaches behind to grab the ankle. If you're able to grab the ankle, flex the foot over your hand. That helps protect that back knee. Nice. And release that. Plant the hands. Tuck the toes as we go back to downward facing dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet so that you're at a forward fold at the back of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips. Press into the feet and come on up to standing. Nice. All right. Bring your awareness to your left foot. Feel it pressing into the floor. Feel this leg activate. As you inhale, we're going to start to lift the right knee. See if you can get it up to wherever's comfortable for you. Maybe it's hip height, maybe it's lower. Nice. And then if you can, see if you can bring your hands around the shin. Stand up a little bit taller. Excellent. Stay strong in that left leg. Keep your left hand on the bent knee. See if you can reach the right arm behind you. Maybe you can even turn and take a look at the hand behind you. Really nice focus, everybody. Great job. All right, with as much control as you can muster, come on back to center. Nice. Wow, great focus. Gently lower the knee back down to the floor. Shake it out a little bit. All right, just notice how your hips feel. Like, does that do anything for you? We'll get to do the other side now. So find a nice strong mountain. Feel your right leg strong, right foot rooted. Start to shift the weight as we lift the left knee up. And make sure you flex that left foot. Nice. Bring your hands around the shin if you're able to. And then keep your right hand on the knee. Sweep the left arm behind you for a twist. And if you can, maybe turn to look at the left thumb. Exhale to gently unwind. Back to center. Nice. Release the knee. Shake it out a little bit. Find mountain pose at the back of your mat. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up. Exhale, into the hips fold all the way forward. Walk yourself forward to plank, top of a push-up. Make sure your abdominals are engaged here. So in plank pose, most of the strength is through the core rather than the arms. So lower belly's tucked in, glutes are nice and tight. As you exhale, gently lower yourself down to the floor. You can drop the knees first, or bring your torso all the way down to the mat. Inhale, gently lift the chest and shoulders up. Exhale, lower back down. Tuck your toes, make your way back to downward facing dog. You can push up through plank or through tabletop. Pedal the feet out. And then come to stillness and lower both knees down to the mat. Move your hips back towards your heels. Come on into child's pose or balasana. And in child's pose, you can choose. You can either have your knees together, letting the torso rest on the thighs, or you can have the knees wide and let the torso fall in between the legs. Inhale to come on up to tabletop on all fours, and then we'll scoot around to a seat. Extending the legs straight out in front of you. All right. Legs are as straight as they can be, feet are flexed, hands are on either side of the mat as you sit up nice and tall. Bend the right knee. With the left hand, grab a hold of the pinky toe side of the foot. Straighten the leg as best you can, and if it doesn't straighten, that's okay. Just do your best. And then we're going to sweep the right arm behind for a twist. See if you can take a look at the right hand behind you, reaching with those fingertips. Unwind back to center. Right hand comes to the floor. You can lower the foot, extend the leg out. Come to center, finding staff pose again. And then we'll do the other side. So bend the left knee, right hand comes to the pinky toe. Straighten the leg as best you can. Inhale, sweep the left arm behind you. Stay as steady as you can here. And then exhale to unwind back to center, releasing the foot back down to the floor. Nice. Let's see, where are we at? Oh, yeah. So place both feet flat on the floor, hands behind the thighs as you sit up nice and tall. Engage the abdominal muscles here. So pull the low belly, tuck the ribs. As you exhale, we'll sit back for boat pose, Navasana. And here we're trying to feel it in the belly rather than in the hip creases. So make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. If you can, bring your shins parallel to the floor. And then we'll clasp our hands out in front in honor of the twist. Bring your hands together towards the right hip. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, come on back to center. Exhale. Inhale back to center. Oh my goodness, how slow am I going to go? Super slow. Over towards the other side. One more round, you guys. You can do this. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the right. Inhale back to center. Over to the left. Oh my goodness. And back to center. Really great job. Exhale and release. Come to a cross-legged seat. Nice. All right. Extend both legs straight out in front of you. A couple of options for this twist. Option 1 is to have one knee bent as we're twisting. Option 2 is to cross the foot over the leg. Option 3 is to additionally bend the bottom leg. First rule of twists is that your hips need to stay rooted. So for me, if I bend my legs like this, my hips don't stay rooted anymore, but yours might. So you choose option 1, and we're starting with the right leg. So right knee bent, hands around the shin. If you want to place the foot on the other side of the thigh, you're welcome to do that. And if you want to bend that bottom leg, you can do that as well. All right. And yeah, you can try it out if you're like, oh, my leg doesn't go that way. That's cool. Or if you're like, ooh, new thing. Inhale to sweep the arms up. And then exhale, we'll twist, bringing the right fingertips behind you. Left hand on the outside of the bent leg. And I've got my left fingertips pointing down towards my hip, hugging that leg in, helping facilitate the twist. Remember, spine stays nice and long, so there should be a straight line from the crown of your head down to your tailbone. Exhale to gently unwind back to center. And then we'll switch sides. So extend the right leg out, bring the left knee in, and then you decide what twisting situation you want to do. Maybe it's the same as the other side, or maybe you want to try something different. But make sure the hips are rooted, your feet are rooted, and then inhale to sweep your arms up. Nice job. As we exhale, we'll twist to the left side. Remember that intra-abdominal compression. This is a great example of it. Everything's moving on the inside. You might be pressing up against the thigh, which creates some additional movement. And then gently unwind back to center. Nice job. All right, extend both legs out. Scoot on up actually to the top of your mat. Extend your arms out, sitting up nice and tall. Keep your feet rooted as you exhale. We're going to gently lower the spine all the way down to the floor. See if you can keep the soles of the feet connected. Wow, why is that so hard? And then once you've reached your limit, gently let the head relax. Release the arms down by your sides and hug your knees in towards your chest, gently rocking from side to side. Extend both feet straight up towards the ceiling. Legs are straight. And we're trying to create a 90-degree angle at the hips. So if you're super flexible, oftentimes you will have less than a 90-degree angle. So see if you can push the thighs away from the body. Engage the abdominal muscles. Push the lower back into the mat. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. On an exhale, see if you can lift your shoulders and head up off of the mat. And then with the right hand, see if you can reach towards your left pinky toe. And maybe you can reach it or maybe not. We're just trying to get that motion. Come on back to center. Shoulders are still lifted. And then we'll take the left hand, reach towards the right pinky toe. Make sure you're breathing. Come on back to center. See if you can reach a little bit higher. And then gently lower the shoulders and head down to the mat. Hug your knees in towards your chest. And again, rock from side to side or front to back. Place both feet on the floor, hips width apart, knees are bent. And then you're going to cross your right thigh over the left thigh. Extend your arms out to a T. And then gently let your knees go over towards the left. And if you need to actually pick up your, press into the floor, lift the hip up a little bit to do this. We're stacking the right hip on top of the left. If it's really intense for you to have the legs twisted like this, you can just have the legs stacked instead. Your arms are out to a T, knees are pointing towards the left side, you're looking up towards the ceiling. If you want to go a little deeper, you can turn your head and look towards your right hand. This is meant to be a passive twist, which means that you should be as relaxed as you can be here not trying to hold yourself in the position. Bless you. Gently bring the knees back to center and place both feet on the floor. Scoot your hips back to the middle if they need to be moved. And then we will switch sides. So across the left knee or left thigh over the right. Arms are still out to a T. Let both knees go over towards the right side. Make any adjustments that you need to scoot that right hip underneath you a little bit more. Or do what you need to make this posture your own. If it's too intense or you want a little bit more intensity, do that. If it feels good, turn your head towards the left hand. So technically a twist is when our shoulders and hips are going in opposite directions, but we can make it go even further by moving the head. Guide the head back to center. Bring the knees back to center, placing the feet on the floor. Once again, hug the knees in towards the chest. And then place your left foot on the floor, extend the right foot up towards the ceiling, walk your hands up the right leg, pulling it a little bit closer towards the body. And then do some circles with the right foot to really get into the ankle. So let the foot be relaxed, draw some circles, and switch direction with the circles. Come to stillness. Point your toes up towards the ceiling, like point them as much as you can possibly point them, stretching the top of the foot. Then relax the foot and pull the leg a little closer to the body. Release the right foot to the floor, keeping that knee bent, and extend the left foot up towards the ceiling. Walk the hands up the leg, however feels comfortable, pulling the leg a little closer to you. Relax the foot and do some circles with the ankle. I just love giving attention to these ankles that do so much work for us that we just don't often pay attention to until we injure them. Switch direction with your circles. And maybe you're finding that they're not actually circles, they're like some sort of other geometric shape. Come to stillness with the foot. Point the toes, like point them as much as you can up towards the ceiling. Keep pointing. And then relax the foot, pull the leg a little bit closer towards the body. And then release the left foot down to the mat. So both knees are bent, both feet are flat on the floor. Bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees open up wide. Release your arms down by your sides for reclined bound angle pose. And don't worry about how far or how close your knees are to the floor. This is just all about letting the floor support you and letting some opening come to the hips and the pelvis. And this is always an option for our final posture of Shavasana, if it's something that you like. Bless you. Using your hands, gently guide the knees together. And then bring your feet to the edges of the mat. Let the toes turn in just a little bit and let your knees relax in on one another. So this is intended to create a little bit of relief on the low back. Very little effort here, so the legs are just relaxing on one another. Your arms are down by your sides with your palms face up. This is always another option for Shavasana, especially if you find laying on the floor to be uncomfortable in your body. Hug your knees in towards your chest, nice and tight. And then with your peace fingers, your pointer finger and your middle finger, grab a hold of your big toes. So knees are bent really deeply here. Arms are on the inside of your bent knees. And this is happy baby pose. So we're going to gently rock from side to side. You can have your feet really close together or your feet can be super wide. This is your posture. It's meant to be a massage for the back, an opening for the hips. So do what feels good for you here. And if no movement feels better for you, then don't feel like you have to rock. Nice. Come to stillness here. And from here, we're going to move into our final resting posture of Shavasana. If there's anything you want to do, like putting your socks on or getting your sweatshirt, go for it. Your options for Shavasana are with the feet together and the knees wide, or feet wide with the knees together, as we just did. And finally, if you want to take a traditional version of Shavasana, you can extend your legs straight out on the mat with your feet mat width apart and let your feet just relax off to the sides. There should be no holding or tension to the hips. And whatever version of Shavasana you've chosen, your shoulders are nestled down on your back. Sometimes it helps push back the head with the mat. And your arms are down by your sides with your palms face up. Really get open to your chest. And let the backs of your hands connect with the floor beside the mat so that you're really taking advantage of all this real estate you've got there. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. And let some movement return back into your toes, your fingers. On your next inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Extend your legs out nice and long for one final long stretch. From your fingertips to your toes. Really help with that abdominal work that we did. Nice. And then bring your knees in towards your chest as you roll onto your right side, pausing for just a moment. Keeping your eyes closed and using as little effort as possible, make your way up to a seat, sitting up nice and tall like we did at the beginning of class. When you find your seat, bring your palms together in prayer in front of your heart. So, tonight we explored some twists. That was like twisting on everything. So I'm hoping that you're feeling a little bit more loose, a little bit more movement in the spine, a little more relaxed. You've got a new tool to take with you off of your mat and into your world. Twists are always available to you. I'm so glad you showed up for class tonight. We'll finish up by chanting the sound of Om, and we'll chant it one time. Take a full exhale and a full inhale for Om. The light in me honors and acknowledges the light in each of you with great respect. Namaste. You guys did awesome. Great job tonight. So glad that you showed up. If you have questions or comments, or you just want to introduce yourself, my name's Amanda. I will be here next week. I hope that you will too. Have a good week, you guys. Be good to yourselves and each other. Thank you. Thanks for coming.